For those of you who are viewing this video, today, the day in which we normally release these programs, is the 3rd of May, and we are celebrating the holiday of Lag BaOmer. Now, all of the Jewish holidays have connected with them a particular symbol. If I were to ask you what is a symbol associated with the holiday of Hanukkah, you might say it is the menorah. If I asked you for the symbol of the holiday of Sukkot, you would say either the sukkah or the lulav and the etrog. Perhaps on Passover you would tell me it was a Seder plate or matzah. Every Jewish holiday has a symbol or small group of symbols that are connected with that holiday. What is the symbol connected with the holiday we celebrate today, Lag BaOmer? Well, interestingly enough, the symbol that is associated with this holiday is the bow and the arrow. Now you may say, Rabbi, a bow and an arrow, what does that have to do with Judaism? What connection can there possibly be between those kind of implements and a Jewish holiday? And therein lies an interesting story. Because the holiday of Lag BaOmer marks a very difficult period of Jewish history, a period of persecution. During the time of the Roman Empire, Jews were forbidden to teach or to study Torah. In many cases, those who were found engaged in Jewish practices suffered the extreme penalty of death. The Romans warned the Jewish people not to continue their Jewish way of life, and most importantly, not to formally continue to study their laws and their traditions. Those who were students would be punished. Those who were teachers would be punished. Indeed, the Romans said, even the towns or the villages in which they were discovered would also be subject to some kind of a sanction. Did the Jews agree to this restriction? No, they did not. On the contrary, teachers and students continued to study, but in an effort to protect themselves and protect the villages and the towns in which they lived, they would go out from the urban center in which they were living. They would go out into the fields in the countryside round about, surreptitiously to study Torah. To deceive their Roman oppressors, they would go out taking bows and arrows as if they were going out to hunt, as if they were going out to provide provisions for themselves. But in truth, hidden within their cloaks, hidden within their own person, they took books of the Torah, so that when they were safely out of the vicinity of the town or the village, they were able to sit down and to study together. The holiday of Lag BaOmer, symbolized by the bow and arrow, is often called the Scholars' Festival, to remind us that in the face of persecution, in the face of the Roman order warning us at pain of death not to continue to study our Torah, Jews forever remained faithful to the law of their God. And this has been the case not only during Roman times, but in all time since. We as the Jewish people survive because of our commitment to Torah. There is a beautiful story told by our rabbis about a fox who one day is walking along a river when he sees fish fleeing upriver, obviously in some distress. The fox says to the fish, "What are you fleeing from?" And they say, "We are fleeing from the nets of the fishermen." The fox turns to the fish and he says, "If you desire to be safe, come up on land and be here with me." The fish turn to the fox and they say, "Oh, you who are supposed to be the wisest of beasts, you are indeed a fool. Because if we are afraid here in the water, the place of our life, how much more should we be afraid if we were to come up on dry land, the place where we cannot live?" So too, the rabbi said, it is true of Jews. The Torah is like water to us. If we are afraid when we study Torah, when we live in an environment which sustains us, how much more afraid should we be if we leave the study of Torah and leave the place of our life? I would like to remind all of you in the congregation that this coming Sunday there will be a very important congregational meeting, at which time you will have the opportunity of learning about what's happening at Congregation Beth Shalom, but more importantly, discussing some of the aims and the goals that we in the synagogue are going to pursue throughout the coming year. I urge you to come and learn. I urge you to come and make your voices heard, because this is truly the time when you, as members of the congregation, have the opportunity to place an emphasis on where you would like to go for the future. I look forward to seeing many of you this coming Sunday. Thank you.